I was asleep, comfortably diagonal across my king-size bed. I was 70, single, sleep alone, and enjoy stretching lazily across the bed while watching television till I fall asleep. On this night, I'm sure I had been asleep long enough to have passed through the REM, rapid eye movement phase, settling into a good night's rest. I suddenly felt my body convulse, first curling up, then straightening out, twice, very rapidly. I was awake. I was up in the air, above and slightly behind my head, and suddenly, I was dead. I looked down and saw the lifeless husk of my former body splayed out there on the bed. I was neither shocked nor startled at the grotesque sight. In fact, I felt indifferent. I didn't care about it one way or the other. No joy or fear. I'd used it. It was over. Around me was a beautiful pastoral scene. I was overcome with intense feelings of love, peace, forgiveness, and acceptance. The very essence of the place was immediately upon me with abundant welcoming and joy. Then I remembered, this is the place I was before I was born. Oh my God, I was back home, I was dead, but I was still very much alive. I was me, Charlin, the same as I was a minute ago. Not only alive, but happy. I felt great, and my vision was 20/20 or better. Very clear for the first time in years, I thought that I was still in my room, but a scenario surrounded me. I saw everything there, but my attention was immediately drawn to my right and up in the air about 10 feet. I could see a room with green walls. Inside the room, I heard the familiar sound of men playing spades. They were laughing and joking and having a great time. Something seriously funny apparently happened, and although I can't recall hearing their exact words, they were teasing and joking with each other. I recognized the voices of two of my long-deceased uncles, Nat, short for Nathaniel, and Dub, short for W, the first letter of his name, Wilman. When I was a child, there existed no human beings funnier than Uncle Nat and Uncle Dub. To be in their presence was a guarantee that you'd be in stitches, laughing long after they'd left. They brought such joy to my childhood. Standing next to the card table and clearly part of the group was another man. He looked similar to photos we've seen of Albert Einstein. But it wasn't Einstein, at least I don't think it was. I immediately remembered something, though. This same man was present right before I was born. I remember him being there. As my attention was turning to my left, I saw in front of me a great and beautiful meadow with trees and beautiful flowers. A little boy was there going into the meadow. I couldn't see his face. There were mountains in the far distance. Further to my left was a tan-colored wall with a thick, black, zigzag line all the way across it. I understood without being told that if I crossed that line or passed through it, if it was opened, there would be no coming back. But my attention was still moving left, and I saw over my left shoulder an amazing sight. Hundreds upon hundreds of people, and more were coming, far in the distance beyond what I could see. Just people, shouting and cheering, at me! They were so happy to see me. They were jumping and cheering, and they all loved me. Oh my God, they loved me so much. Simultaneously, because this all happened at the same time, I remembered the most amazing part. I was home. I remembered clearly that I was back where I belong. There's a certain way you feel at home. It's not the same feeling or awareness as here on Earth. It's super awareness of a sort, nearly impossible to describe. It's the best and most secure and loved feeling you've ever known, magnified and multiplied many, many times over. The joy and love are almost unbearable. It's far, far more intense than the deepest and most profound feeling I've ever known. It's a reality that is jarring in its very existence, and you belong there. Not only do you belong, you're part of it. Not only are you part of it, you are it. And it is you. At home, everyone has lighthearted fun. There is no feeling of anyone having problems, no drama. There are no issues. Joy, good humor, and love are in the air. There are parts of my experience that I've forgotten, similar to the way we forget our dreams, so my recollection of this part is not as clear. I was somehow transported to a place where I think I spoke to a council of sorts. We talked about whether I would return to Earth. I believe I requested to come back, and I believe my request was lovingly granted. I've forgotten parts of that segment. Suddenly, I was back in my body, simultaneously sitting up, coughing, belching. Dying like that was a gentle thing, and natural, like blinking. I've fully accepted that death is going to happen. I have no fear of it. I very much look forward to it now that I know for a fact what awaits me. Us. Thank you for tuning in to today's captivating video. Every story showcased on this channel is either graciously shared by our viewers or carefully curated from the rich archives of ians.org, unless specified otherwise. If you have a personal story you'd love to see featured, don't hesitate to reach out. You can find my email conveniently listed in the video description below. Looking forward to hearing from you.